And you've clearly identified a need, perhaps amongst nervous, stressful brides-to-be. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, so during lockdown, I've had a hobby for a number of years into sound therapy. Now, obviously, as a DJ, I understand that sound can change people's perceptions of life. And so I took that a bit further and I used lockdown as an excuse to become qualified as a sound therapist, which basically we use instruments, tuning forks, drums, singing bowls, as we call them. But they give off a frequency which is known to have this calming effect on the human psyche, not just humans, animals, everything. And it's interesting if you ever put water in a singing bowl and play it, you'll see the water vibrate and change patterns. Well, the human being is 80% water. Our brain is 75% water. So you imagine the calming effect we can have. So I got into that, and I was quite happy ticking along. And then I got introduced to something called Reiki, which is another form of modality or healing modality, which is based from a practice from Japan. So it's called Japanese. It was created by a monk called Usui. So it's known as Usui Reiki. And I've got to be honest with you, I fought it for a while because it was a little bit woo-woo for me. But then once I got my first degree in that, you understand that you can help people just by either being in the same room with them or hands-on or hands-off healing. It's scary when you first do it because you think, oh my goodness, that, you know. I can remember my words on my first session with my Reiki teacher, and I said, I can't believe this thing is coming out these sausages, as I call my fingers, yeah? But it was an amazing feeling. And so therefore I decided that I could then carry on training in this modality to get up to my third degree or master level, as they call it. But then I've always wanted to incorporate, how can I incorporate both? And so I developed my own system of Reiki sound therapy. So I incorporate both modalities. So basically, the recipient gets a double whammy of positive, calming, relaxing energy, either from the vibrations from the instruments or literally from the universal life force that we call Reiki. Very hard to explain for somebody like me who's come from a more practical background. But yeah, once you understand it, it's incredibly rewarding. And so then I realized that as I said earlier, I've probably dealt with thousands of brides and grooms who get themselves so wound up that they actually don't enjoy the day. Yeah, or even before, they get so stressed they make ill. Or worse, I can give you an example. I did one wedding last year where both the bride and groom took, I'm going to say drugs, but they were prescription drugs, and therefore were like zombies on their wedding day. In fact, I found the bride collapsed in one of the cars. And I was their Toastmaster on the day, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness. So what I do now is I offer brides particularly, because they are a bit more receptive than the fellas, we're always a bit harder work. I say to them, look, come and see me. Let me give you this session. Try a session, and see if it helps you get that extra night's sleep or the extra 2 hours sleep that you need. And therefore then on the day, I will maybe teach them some breathing techniques as well, which on the day they will come across as radiant because they're actually in control. Every organism in the universe has you and I would probably refer to it as a personal space. It's actually known as your auric field or your aura. And you can actually photograph that aura and you see your personal space, which is why over the years, you're quite right, we will walk up to somebody and get this, not getting the right vibe. Vibe again.
Correct.
Yeah?
Correct.
And that is absolutely correct because your two auras are actually communicating.